everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So we're going to do a little make-along kind of series here, and it's going to be the Great Magazine Chop and Flop. This is a totally open collaboration. If you would like to play along with me, grab a magazine and we will start on this project. I'll explain to you in just a moment, but if you are looking to participate, please tag me in your video or your Instagram post or wherever you like to post, and use the hashtag magchopandflop, because then I can find out that you're taking part too and see what you're up to. So the concept is going to be that we are going to use one magazine, we're going to use up the whole thing, and we are going to then make a flip-floppy type journal from all of the things we harvest from the magazine. So I'm going to do this with you, kind of give some points as I go, what I do to make the most of a magazine. The kind of magazine that I like is the one I'm going to use, but you can use really any kind of magazine. I would say so long as it appeals to you aesthetically, like you think the inside visuals are really great. There's aspects of that magazine that you really like. I'd probably go with one that has like little to no advertisements, unless you like to use advertisements, which for some folks who do lots of collaging and stuff, then that's fine, right? So my take on this is going to be using a more artsy aesthetic magazine. I'm going to be using an uppercase magazine for what I'm going to make as part of this. So let's get into it. I've done enough introductory type talking. So I'm going to start things off a little bit like backwards. So the reason is because I wanted to give you a prototype, an idea like of what we're getting into, so that like you sort of know from the beginning rather than having to sort of start at the start and not know what's coming. Because I sometimes find it totally depends on what it is, but sometimes I get like a little flustered when I'm trying to like if I'm trying to follow somebody who's doing like a challenge to make something, I kind of want to know what it's going to be in the end first, sort of. But I can't do the whole thing for you, but I'll give you a little what's up on what we're going to do. So I'm planning to do about the size of a traveler's notebook type journal, and guess what? All of what's in this basket is what was harvested from one magazine, with a couple of exceptions, because there's a couple things that are sitting in here that are not part of this. But let me get all the stuff out so that I can show you what is. So this is not. So I'll kind of show you everything. This came out of an uppercase magazine. So I'll show you a couple of those first. So uppercase magazine for the creative and curious. I have a couple of them here. The one that I used was like kind of a botanical, mostly gardening kind of theme. It was like a summer one. I think I'm going to use this one for issue 59 for this upcoming challenge, because it's a lot of fun. This one's kind of fiber art. This one's kind of stitchy. Okay, so let's get into this. So the first thing is there were these really nice kind of flat lays of dried plants. So I backed them with packaging paper to make these two bits. This is all finished ephemera, by the way, a journal card. I've got lots of little bits like this that I cut out, all these little pieces. Some of them have words like yarn, thread, string. So let me just show you all of what I harvested here. Nice long bit for like a belly band or something. All sorts of botanicals. This could be like a label, so I did do like some interesting shaping and stuff. I made a lot of kind of basic shapes. I did tags, a few of them, little pocket type shapes. But you'll see there is just a ton. I haven't counted how much is here, but I'd say like probably 100 pieces. It wouldn't surprise me, or like the high over 50 like range. And there was just a lot of really beautiful, bits and bobs in there. So lots of botanicals. This one says it was a satisfying sight to see them flourish, and that's a tag. This little house, little greenhouse. Another little label I made. Little pockety bits. This is feed sacks, and that is some feed sack. On the back of the uppercase, you get these bits. Ephemera, a little button card. All these little bits are from Vintage Life. The back of the uppercase, this was on the cover. Little collar there. That says quilted. These would be good little like tuck spots. We could round corners if we want to. A little pigeon or dove. Pocket tag. Another tag. This, and honestly, the other aspect of this magazine chopping up is that I ended up getting really inspired by this to make these little bits from my own little paper dolls that I have, and I just painted leafy bits on their head because it inspired me to do that. So I have those bits now to play with. Here's a little square piece. This lovely crow. Just beautiful paintings. Another tag and a little bit. A couple more smaller pieces. Sunflowers. Gorgeous flowers. And then I used a punch to create some of these when there was really pretty kind of, you know, texture or color. This one I stitched. It's like a belly band. I put it on some dyed paper. Another stitched one with this house. Couple of seed packets. There was lots of seed packets in this particular issue, so I've got lots of seed packets that are in all different sizes. Some strawberries, roses, trilliums, lavender, Gerber daisy, night jasmine, night bloomer seeds. It also kind of gave me some ideas about, you know, painting and making seed packets. Again, I know I made a video about a different way to make seed packets a little bit ago, but this got me inspired to use the seed packet as, you know, a way to really get inspired to, you know, make beautiful botanical type stuff. So lots of beautiful sunflower seeds. And look at this catnip. Isn't that so cute? Bowl of beauty peony. Cosmos. And then this I made a little booklet out of because both sides of the paper was so beautiful. So we have the peony here, peas, and then some packaging paper for writing space or art space, sweet peas, and these garlic on the back. Couple of bits that I made into labels. Radish. This nice big painting. This bit. Another of those little booklets, again, wanting to use both sides of the paper. These are two little envelopes that I made from like a landscape, and I added a little seed packet onto both of those. Some painted flowers. We have these strawberries. This was from the front cover. This was the Uppercase magazine. I forget what issue this was, but it's been sitting on my desk forever. So in a lot of my older videos, you're going to probably see this pattern. You're probably going to recognize it because it's been sitting on my desk forever. I used it for Use Your Books episodes before I cut up and ultimately used my book. So that's what that whole series I do on YouTube here is about, Use Your Books. It's like going through the whole book to find inspiring projects, you know, saluting and holding up the artist who shared that. I always share their information, and then we kind of take inspiration from their either their process or their project or, you know, their methods, right? So then after I've gone through a whole magazine where I've done that, this is what the kind of thing that's going to happen to it. So these are the little little like cigar boxes or seed boxes that have beautiful bits on the back. They're like, you basically Victorian time, you know, these kind of boxes would be full of seed packets, and I thought they'd be really cute in a journal. You could literally like make a slit too and stick something in there, maybe a little seed packet. Lots of little bits, a little bit of photography, lots of little labels, watercolor and stuff. This was like a bit of a, it looks kind of like a flat lay, like a stack of things. I thought that would be a nice side tuck. A little garden gnome, rose culture, seeds, this owl tuck spot. We have a little seed label, some hydrangeas in a freeform shaped journal card maybe. This is like a photograph of, you know, beautiful vintage seed packets and things. Some stamp carving, nice tags and things. A couple more little bits. So that's a lot of stuff, right, from one magazine. Okay, I suspect it will be much more than I will need to put into my journal. So I'm also going to have a lot of stuff left over that could go into my ephemera stash. So I'll show you kind of a preview of the next step after we do the magazine chop. It's getting into the flop, but this will come later. So here's the cover I've anticipated for this. I need to pick what image I want to put on the front here. I don't want it to be too big because like I want it to kind of fit in the confines of this space, so I don't cover any of the embroidery on this vintage hanky that I've chosen for the cover of this. So something kind of like that size would be ideal, and I'm going to sew it on. So what I did was I took some linen and I covered an envelope, and then I took this vintage hanky and I had already built in a nice there's a bit of a hard spine in there. It's 1.5 inches, and then I kind of just, you know, fun stitched in there, added a couple of pockets here that are more linen with lace on them, so that'll be the inside, and we're going to put probably 5 signatures in here, maybe 4, maybe 5, we'll see. And that's going to be the first of the flip-flop journal. So yeah, I've got to sort out what I want to do here, but I will figure that out separately because we're sort of not at that stage yet, right? So give me a moment, I'll set all this aside, and then we'll talk about the first part of the project. So in this video, we're going to talk about the harvesting process. I will go through the whole harvesting of this magazine, and then we'll make all of the stuff afterward maybe. I may not focus completely on the making of ephemera for 2 reasons. Number 1, I do a ton of that here on my channel. And number 2, that's not really the focus of what we're doing. This is more about harvesting the magazine and in different ways with different plans that I'll talk about. But also it's about putting together a flip-flop journal, which is a lot of simple pieces used in interesting ways. Okay, so I'll get more into that as we go. So I'm choosing to use uppercase issue 59. So on the front we have this fun quilting, and then on the back is the back side of this fun quilting, and it's cover art by Catherine Marie Longton. You can find uppercasemagazine.com if you're interested in the subscription or learn, you know, getting these magazines. I know they do sell back issues, I believe, so that's possible. So we're just going to start here with the cover. I'm going to tear the front cover off and decide what do I want to harvest from this. So when I first look at this, I sort of think about cutting that in half and it becoming like some really fun, you know, pockets that are in that shape, like maybe 4 of them. So I will use this, and all I'm really going to use to do this piece is my ruler, because we're going to cut it into it's going to become like a sum of its parts here, right? So we're just going to do this, and we're not going to do all of the making here, all the cutting out or anything. We're just harvesting at this point with the intention of what we want to make. So you want to be able to say by the end of each page, this will become a pocket, these will, so will these 2, they're going to be side tuck pockets. Okay, so you got that part sorted. And then your leftovers here, you decide, do I want to use, like, I kind of like this because I feel like it could be a really fun little like page side or something. You also can obviously take off this white, which I like the torn edge, so I would have been okay with both, but I'll do that. You probably want to get a basket to put all your things in because you are going to accumulate things quite quickly. I'm just going to put mine up here because I already have a basket full of my existing things. So then what I'll do is I'll kind of check, is there anything back here I want? Well, maybe I want to use this as a washi tape, so I'm going to cut that out because it's just a lot of really fun little fabrics. I don't want the turtle on the end though. So put that there. And then we'll see if we have enough space to punch a label with this. We do. So there's a cute label. I don't think we have enough for another one. We do not. Okay, that's okay. If you want though, you know, flip it over. Do you like that? I like that. Let's do that. Over here, not really. Okay, so then we move on to the first page here from the editor's desk. So I'm looking at this and thinking about the twinchies that my friends are doing in their videos right now. So I think what I would want to keep from this would just be like maybe this little house and a little of that yellow, because that will give it kind of some a nice decorative feel. So it's not just a cutout of a house. We can make something with that. And then obviously all this yellow, or if you liked these, you know, you could come over and you could say, oh, that's a cute little label if it fits, right? So we have the red and we have the yellow. So I'm probably going to just pop a few of these out. You could also cut the top off because that's big enough to create a pocket from. But I will take those. But you know, like I'm saying, this, like that's big enough right there, right? You could make something with this bit. So let's just grab this. This could become a label, like a long label by doing this. Just snipping those edges. See, now you have a label. And obviously you can do that over here too. And if you have small punches, obviously you can punch out other little things. Very simply. Okay. So that's that page. Next page, we have an index page. And really the only thing of value for me is, so first we're going to look at the words. Do any of the larger words, are they something I'd use? No. Not that side. This independent magazine through. Nope. So again, I might just come in and create a few of these. Because whether you use them in this journal or not, it's always nice to have these little snips of, you know, punched out things. These are journal fodder. And they're double-sided too, so. Then we have this subscription page. Then we're starting to get into some cute and interesting things. So first of all, I love the word snippets. I'm going to take that and I'm going to just rip that out, and then I want it to be, I think, this big. And then from this, I'll probably just tear the bottom. I'll just keep that as is. So now you look at what you see and you think, would I use this in my journal? So while this is an adorable sculpture of this like bike shop kind of, these are all cute, I don't think I would necessarily use them in my own making, because for me, this image, while cute, it's like there's a lot of birds in a cage, and that's not really something that brings me joy. And on this side, you obviously have this, which could be a really interesting piece if you tear it here. Then again, maybe let's go this wide. I'm thinking about the width of the journal. So then I'm going to just cut this off. And when I make the pocket, I'm going to cut it this way so I have this fun fan shape as a pocket. So again, you're conceptualizing as you go, right? And then the other thing here, we have for the creative and curious, and I'm going to try to cut that out. That's a great little snippet of words. And I think I saw, was there another mention of creative and curious? No. Also, maybe if you like, you know, this rainbow here, you could take this rainbow and you could create a pocket with that. And then again, with all these rainbow colors, I want to capture a few more of these little labels. They come in very handy. Oh, here we go. This is where it was, for the creative and curious. So we'll cut that out. Just as a little word snippet. A season for stitching. That could be nice if you're doing a stitching journal. What a cute idea. This is an ice cream sandwich book by Lori Coughlin of Arlington, Texas. So cute. Little ice cream sandwich books. Accordion style book. Very, very cute. This is a cool sculpture, but I don't see myself really using that. So when I look at this, I think I'm just going to grab this little bit here as a washi tape. And then I might grab the words, a season for stitching. And the thing is, oops, I messed it up. So we got to pay attention. That's okay. So for things like that, though, had I been able to save it and not gotten distracted, even if you're not using it in the journal that we're going to make, it's a great thing to throw in your word snippet box, right? So now the hard part begins, where you start to look at both sides and think, what am I going to do? What do I like? What do I not like? So with this one, I like this side more. And I think a logical place to rip this, although you could use it as a piece of stationery, would be here, then again here. And this is where I'm starting to create the pieces, right? One. This cute little unicorn. And it says, there is so much to love. Let's remember that that's the case in this world. So here I think I want to cut that to about there. And that'll be a nice big piece that I could see becoming a tag. Gorgeous. That's that for me. So then on this side we have this beautiful image of this girl stitching. But over here we have this really cute, you know, floral and bird, and then this little floral down here. So I might try to make the best of both worlds by getting this, okay, and then this right there. One. You know, if you wanted to save this with the punch, with the bird on it, you could. There's the bird. There's more of it here, and you know, it's funny, the shape that it's in is actually pocket shaped. And then I want to save this. This was kind of the other big thing I was hoping I could save, because I love the botanical. There's also these hands here. We could probably get those with the punch. And I think that's all I need from that page. But you see like how much, like we've done, what, 3 or 4 pages, and I've already got quite a stack here. So in one of these uppercase magazines, because they are not add heavy, you get a lot of material. That's why, like, with magazines like this, I definitely do not mind, spending a little more. Well, these are nice. I didn't even see these books. Feel Something, Make Something, a guide to collaborating with your emotions. Made by hand, a craft sampler. That looks good. And then look at this. Rag and Pulp, creativity with paper. I've never heard of that book before, but it's got me pretty excited. I'm actually just gonna, this image isn't important to me, but I'm gonna set this aside as like, look this up. That's an uppercase. Encyclopedia of Inspiration. Encyclopediaofinspiration.com. So with this one, what do I want to do? I'll take the bottom piece for washi. It's another nice detail in this particular magazine is they just have lots of things that are appealing to us as paper people. And then this one up top, it says library. And then back here we just have lots of folks working with their hands and stuff, but nothing here that I need really. Another Encyclopedia of Inspiration on art supplies. Sustainability initiatives. Nothing I want to keep here, I don't think. Collecting ephemera. If that isn't our niche, I don't know what is, right? So I think actually I'm going to keep that word snippet, and then up here we even have this little bit that says ephemera. And then this, how best to use something like that. It's pretty cool. Trying to decide. So what I see for this, okay, imagine a tuck spot. And when I back this, I'm going to just cut it out to that shape. And I'm going to keep the word collectors. And then over here, I think we could kind of do the same thing with this, making like a side tuck that gets cut out exactly in that shape. Okay, so this one is easy peasy. We know what we want. We want all these, right? On the back, it's kind of nice and all, but not as cool as these. So what I do is I just tear apart each piece and I remove the excess paper, because the next stage for me with all of this is going to be gluing everything down and backing all of it. So like, oops, that one tore, that's fine. So I will share a little bit of that process with you, and then I will hustle through and do the rest on my own. And then, we'll be on to the next stage. So here we go. We've got we have choices to make here. So let's just start by getting this down to the half that matters. Cheer up, old top, and don't feel blue, because here's a flapper who's looking for you. I actually like this side better than the other one. I'm not a big warm red person. I like the more neutral and soft tones of this side. Okay. Making it slow, and there's some weaving going on here, but then over here we've got some fun bits. Pearl restringing outfit. I like that, and I like this. The rest of it doesn't really appeal to me, except for one a little bit. So get this out. And then this. And then there's this little label here that says Drink Vamp the Enticer. And that I might use for something else. I'm just going to set that off to the side for possibly another project that's uninvolved here. So on this side we have this little owl that I like. This is showing a big printmaking situation. Alright, so let's see what the next page has for us. Oh, some beautiful eco-dyed imagery. So I will definitely keep this. As well as this. That would make a really nice pocket. I'd probably put some kind of focal point on it and use it kind of like a background. All these pretty dyeing pictures. Beautiful process. Oh, but these pottery images are gorgeous. I'm going to go with those instead. Again, you know, decision making that has to happen. And when you're tearing things out and there's white space on the sides, you can kind of take a look and see if the white space can make things more interesting, like a Polaroid. I don't think there's much on this page that I'm interested in. So I missed that one. There's some pottery, like maker's marks here, and I like this willow pottery mark. Royal Crown Derby, ironstone. I like the ironstone one. The only challenge is that there's like a letter that they've put really close to the piece, but that's okay. I think that's all I really need off of there. I'll save this little mark making bit here. I also, by the way, I got a basket to keep all my stuff in while I took a little break for a second there. And that way we don't get all sidetracked and lose everything. I think I'll just cut this out. When I back it, I will probably just cut it into shape. Same here with this one. I'll cut it a little bigger than it is, but then when I back it, I will make it more perfect. Just more mark making. Very colorful. I'm going to make an envelope with this, I think. Like so, and then when that flips down, it's got the word musing there, so maybe I'll use it this way, like an upside down kind of envelope. Because that could get glued down in a journal, and that could be, you know, we could have a thumb hole there to put things into, and I could put like a little circle there to keep it closed. Inside my creative process, That's kind of cute. So here's a comparison of, this is interesting. So, you know, I talk a lot here often about AI, the enduring value of original made by human hand artwork and our essential role as creators. So here we have this comparison. The source is from Sharon Vanderkay. AGI, algorithm generated images, versus AHA, authentic human hand art. So in AGI, algorithm generated images, jump to the answer, transactional experience, machine does the learning, manufactured emotions, harvested from outside sources, derived from existing works, neutral as a social catalyst, and ethical and copyright issues. Where with human art, process of exploration, revelation, potential for transformational experience, human growth, self-learning, expresses thoughts, feelings, created from artist's imagination, novel, original creations, fosters shared experiences, emphasis on originality and authenticity. So I think for those of you who may have that question, like why people, you know, turn against AI generated art in the junk journal world, this is a pretty good analysis, and I'm actually going to put that in my own journal because I think it kind of quick and easily speaks to that whole conundrum. I am going to keep this as well for the journal making fodder. I like that. Okay, art is yoga for the brain. Art is a social magnet. Very cool. Things they say to do right now. Imagine a virtual forest of artist wanted signs. Whatever the future brings, here's how you can proactively support the aha moment. Talk with other artists and art appreciators about the life-enhancing benefits of experiencing tactile aha art. Authentic hands-on artists are more than selectors of images who choose from a machine-made mashup of existing artwork. This effort will be especially important as AGI providers continue to flood the market with enticing promotional messages. So all those people who are saying this is the future. I just got into like a terse discussion with someone on my social media that I like the least, being Facebook, in an illustrator, children's book illustrator group, who said, you know, they were speaking to the members of the group saying that they didn't like the negativity that they saw flung at artists, or not artists, sorry, authors that choose AI for their books. And I've seen it too. I don't typically comment, but someone will post their usually children's book that they're selling usually on Amazon with, you know, a lot of AI generated art, and people will say like, no, I don't like it, and that's AI, like no, right? And a lot of people get quite heated, quite snarky, quite, you know, sanctimonious, and this person was saying, like, if you don't like it, just scroll on by. You know, you don't need to comment. You don't need to constantly be putting people down and blah blah blah, like, don't be negative. This is the future, right? So I think I wasn't bothered until that statement about this is the future. And then I felt like I need to speak on this, because I said, you know, here's the thing. You come here and you tell all of us to scroll on by, don't have a voice, don't be heard. It's like you're saying, be silenced. You don't deserve the right to speak on a topic that actually is putting people out of jobs. I actually just watched a whole video about a guy who just lost his job as a coder. He has been replaced by AI. We know that Facebook is actively doing that right now. They're firing thousands of people. They're going to be replaced by AI. So before I think you make statements like that, you probably need to be a little more educated. So, you know, I essentially just said, like, no, you scroll on by. I refuse to normalize what you're saying. I have to, that my opinion doesn't matter. And you like to say that this is the future, like, no matter what, like, none of us have a choice, like, we're supposed to feel powerless. That's the whole point, right? If humans choose to completely demote themselves and take themselves out of society, that is what will happen. And yeah, if you normalize it and you don't speak on it, then you are essentially being ruled by a supreme voice where and that voice isn't your own. So no, you don't have to be quiet. We're allowed to have these opinions. And as professionals in the industry, we are the guides. Do you want your kids looking at AI generated images with emotions that aren't real? Characters that aren't real? What if your child wants to be an artist and that's what they strive to? They're trying to create something that no other human created, right? So yeah, I don't know. I think it's about keeping things like realistic and kind. So anyways, that's my point on that. Pay close attention to how your inner process impacts your work and life. How might you emphasize this humanizing dimension when talking about what you do? Present yourself as a fully human artist. For example, unless you are writing for an academic audience, think twice about composing a dense, jargon-filled artist statement that might sound like it was AI generated. Use analogies when talking about the contrast between AGI and AHA. For example, you might talk about the difference between fast food and a nutritious meal that is cooked by someone you know. Participate in slow art day to promote shared appreciation for human-centric art. So I love all of that. Absolutely love all of that. I'm going to set that aside. See, this is the whole, I guess, a part of the process of harvesting your magazines. I think a lot of times things like magazines can be consumer throwaway products, or they can sit on shelves for decades and no one uses them, right? So, or no one looks at them after you've read them once. Maybe some people buy them and don't even read them. They just kind of flip through them. So let's not do that. So this is cool. This is showing her pulling paint with a comb, toothbrush, bubble wrap, sponge. I am yawning. I'm a little sleepy. I think I tired myself out talking about AGI. That's okay. But let's just finish getting the things that we'll use on this page. I don't think I'll use those little bits, or not really the colors I'm looking for. This one is nice. That's also really cool. I like the colors here more, so I'm going to save those first. And I'm going to keep them together because that would actually make a cute like booklet. These are cool, use of red and blue. But I think I do want this because I'd like to make that organic shaped journal card. Even be kind of neat to put like an owl here or something, you know, to go with the backing. This is some like sashiko, like stitching. But the other side of this page has my heart. This is cool. I think that would be a nice freeform cutout. Definitely this bit here. Okay. Maybe this little stitchy bit too. This might be a useful little piece. Those are pretty. However, over here, those are great pieces and colors. I'm trying to like focus on the fact that these are going to be pieces in a journal, right? So that's kind of how I'm harvesting. I'm thinking of the shapes that I want to make different things in the journal. That Polaroid style. That would still be a nice background maybe, but I'm not sure. Maybe. Let's keep that. That's cool. Even with the top is cool. With some nice birds and florals. Nice purples on there. I think I'll save this piece first. Because I want that. That not so much. Oof, that's beautiful though. Look at all that carving of stamps. So nice. I need to spend some time. From me to you, made by hand. That's just a nice little add-in. That's also something we can use. Oh, there's some of these, a few of these in here. How nice. Little invitation card, sort of like for handmade things. What was I going to say? What do I want? This or the other one? I was going to say something and I completely forget my train of thought. I don't know. I actually was thinking like this tutorial, like video series, or this, you know, kind of make along. Some of these videos might get a little long, but you know what? As people here often tell me, don't worry about that. You know, they like long videos, and I do too, actually. So, it's a good thing. This and this off, and then I'm just going to take the top off too because there's a bit of writing there, but I love those blues. But in some ways, you know, I think just reading that bit about slow art, that's kind of what this is. This whole series is kind of the slow process of, you know, going through our materials. And certainly backing everything will be a big slow process. So I will not make a video where that's all I do is sit and back things. I promise you that. But I will probably try to make a bit of ephemera with you. Let's do that. Okay. These are cool circles stitching. Beautiful eco printing stitching. I think I really like this as a freeform shaped piece of ephemera. Maybe also this little pouch here. I'll cut it out more succinctly when I back it. This is just a big, beautiful, amazing paper. I think I want to make like an envelope from this. So I want to see both sides of it. And I would probably like attach it into the center of a signature. So I will not seal it closed until I've done that. So that's awesome paper. That would be a nice cutout, but let's see what's on the back here. So Mrs. Keckley was a woman of refinement and culture, always careful of her associates. She carried herself gracefully and well poised and had a striking and pleasing personality. Oh yes, we have to save that. Surely. And also this little illustration of a spool. I could not love that more. And then down here, I will save her as a fussy cut focal point. And here we have the ceramics inspiration. This is cool. Calligraphic marks and textures of Yukimi honored. We'll do something with that. Probably a booklet would be nice. Okay. Oh, beautiful. She does botanical ink marking. I think I'll save that image. That's cool. Just feels very naturey. Her elements, like that she uses for her work, are beautiful. All these things. So if I look at this, I think I'll save that image because, again, if you've been here for a while, you know I get a little gaga about anything relating to nature and art, and when the two meet. Tends to be my thing. So over here, I think I will save this. We have this nice big piece of marked up calligraphic marked paper. But these are nice too. But I think I want to use this. Also, up there it says sketchbook. How cool is that? going to kind of fold that back, and that's going to make my brain work in a different way. Like if this were to be, say, you know, a flipped out piece that I glued together, this could also be a tuck spot. Slow art to find your style. Obsess the minutia. That's a very cool little thing. I think I will save this middle one. And obsess the minutia. Completely love that saying. Okay, this is great. Same artist as the cover art, Catherine Marie Layton, or Longton, sorry. There she is there. Let's just grab a couple more punch outs. Ooh, yes, now we're into the yummy textile things. That I'm going to leave together because it's part of the same process. And then obviously we'll save this. Where the other set of ephemera that I made from the other book felt like quite botanical and garden themed, this one is feeling quite art. So we have that on the back, but I actually like this stuff better. That, and this. Don't need that. Not my colors. No, nothing there. That's kind of cool. Sorry for that. I had to change my battery. Anyways, let's continue. Okay, so these are cool. Let's decide which of them I would want in my book. Maybe all of them, who knows. I'm also just going to keep them together. Maybe, or actually maybe not. Yeah, those are neat. This one I'm not into because the colors aren't my colors, but the top one I am. So I'll just grab that out. I won't make it perfect. We don't need to. Sorry if I keep doing that. I'm trying to be fast, not perfect. Alright, on this side I'm definitely going to be going with this. That's gorgeous. And I'm actually going to tear it with white space on the outside because I want the organic shape of that for when I use it. Oops. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so I want that little pocket, I think, and then maybe this on the back. So, wrap that. Paper pieced mini quilts. That's a cute idea. And then that for sure we'll do something fun with. All this beautiful quilting going on here. I think I'll do the same with that one, and then I'll keep the organic shape and we'll use it for either pockets or maybe even 2 triangle pockets would be nice. Oh, look at that owl. I'm gonna have to save that for a fussy cut for sure. Handmade bird. Oh, that's pretty. It's got like text all stitched into that beautiful jacket, and I love how it hangs in the back. That'll be a cool little pocket or something, a little journal card. This is showing how they made the handmade bird. Wishbone weavings. I've done these with my daughter. We collected a bunch of sticks in this shape, not wishbones. These are actual like poultry wishbones, where they've woven in between them. But I did this with my daughter with like slingshot shaped branches, you know? I like that. That's cool. Oh, back here is cool too though. Oh, this gorgeous intuitive daily stitching, rugged hooked sandwiches. So cute, but I think I do really want to save just this. That will be nice. I almost see it like something that could spin like a pinwheel in the journal I make. I think this side is the winner here. All these beautiful things. Okay. I think we'll go like that. And I'll save that. Can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. C.S. Lewis. Save this, and let's just save that too. It's cute. I think I need those bits. Okay, this side is going to be the winner because of this bee for sure. Oh yes, some bobbin lace. I have two friends who do bobbin lace. I actually have a way that I invented to do a freeform bobbin lace, and maybe one day I will share that here. Maybe one day. But bobbin lace is a very complex kind of thing. You're actually making lace, right? And you have all these threads and all these bobbins, and you've got to follow a certain order that you're kind of crossing them all over each other, and all these pins to hold it down to actually create motifs in lace. It's really quite a specialized craft. Not a lot of people do it these days, not as commonly done as like knitting, crochet, or weaving. Yeah. This I'm going to keep as a little, hey, let's do something with one of my children. But this side, I might snag that bit of crochet because it's cute. A little snippet of quilting. Beautiful. This page, we're almost through this, guys. Now, like if you're making a journal and you like certain motifs like coffee cups, vases, whatever, save those kind of motifs if they're your thing, you know. For me, I'm kind of looking at this for its organic shapes and stuff, because that's what I think make journals really interesting, is organic shapes and color, of course. Nothing there. Oh, this is gorgeous. This makes me want to do pottery, make more mugs again. I miss doing pottery. The only reason I'm not doing it right now is because our local guild is a little too far from me, and I'm eventually going to buy a new kiln. I have a raku kiln, but I don't have the gusto to do raku right now. It's a lot of kind of process and prep and materials that I don't want to get out. Because I'm being lazy. But I want to get probably like a test kiln size kiln. I don't want a huge kiln. So I just want to make pretty small things. I have a bunch of ideas though, and sometimes, I'm not going to lie, it wears on me that I don't have a kiln. But I'm going to put one eventually in my garage. This whole thing, I feel like it wants to also be an envelope. And I love that down here it says collection. So let's do, maybe flip, I'll do this. I love that it says antique lace. Awesome. Oh, so gorgeous. So gorgeous. this, I feel like I would tear this off, like say here, and we would just have like a folio type paper that could go right in our journal. Then over here, 2 pocketses. These, obviously, I can just tear the 4 apart. Subscriber studios. I always love looking at other people's studios. I need to revamp my studio, but then I can't be working, you know? I try to not do too much like over organizing. I think a lot of people, they kind of lose a lot of time to create because they spend all their time obsessing over organizing and moving things around. And obviously organization, it's important. It's, you know, key to, especially for people who feel really shut down by being in crowded space. It's very key to like your success to be able to create. And I'm absolutely of the mind that you should create a space that you're comfortable and functional in. That's really important. But for me, I always feel like my space isn't too terribly messy. It's kind of like a lived in, worked in space. And I think I've developed this mindset because like when you have small children, like I went through having the kind of home where like I actually had a magazine come into my home and photograph large parts of it for the magazine because it's interesting. But we're on the back cover, by the way. So I got to decide, do I want to use this or this? And I did already get all these things once from the other book, but these are different, these little snippets. So that's kind of, actually no, they're not, they're the same. Except for maybe this one, I didn't see that one last time. I kind of want to use this piece again. For the same reason, I want to make pockets with it. Anyways, so yeah, I had a magazine come in my home and do all sorts of pictures of our foyer because, so you know when you fall down, when Alice falls down that rabbit hole and you see all the things on like the clock on the wall and all these weird things on the wall, that's kind of what my foyer looks like. It has a really high ceiling and a staircase that goes up to our upstairs. And from the very top of that high ceiling, when we first moved in, we decided to make that space kind of like our art project. So my husband and I, we spent a bunch of time buying drawers from old, like, buying old dressers and taking the drawers and refurbishing them, and antique boxes and crates and things, and fixing them all like a giant curio on the wall. And it's still there, and it's all full of our collected antiques and found objects, everything from like taxidermy to like different kinds of, ceramics and vintage and antique toys and plushies and mohair bears, and found objects like skulls and bones and feathers and antlers and horns and such, like just things that we've come across. And so it's quite a thing. Maybe one day I will do a video. And then the wall that is beside it is painted a bright teal shade and has all of our own art, as well as art that we've collected throughout our lives. And so I went from having that kind of a home to a home of kids. And so the room I think that stresses me out the most is like my living room, because it used to be very artful in my living room, but now it's like I've removed all of my things off the shelves in our built-in cabinetry and it's all just kid stuff. And my couch looks like a pink croissant that belongs to like the Golden Girls, because I got it from this really funny Italian family on Facebook Marketplace because they were moving into like a care home because they were older, and they were selling their furniture. And so I had been through 3 couches. Like there was an IKEA couch, there was like another not quite fully all leather couch, and then I was just like, I'm just gonna get something that's easy to clean, easy to, you know, for the kids. It's like the kids couch to wreck sort of thing. So I look at my living room right now and I'm like, when the kids are a little older, I'm going to redo the floors, I'm going to redo the ceiling, I'm going to put in new furniture, I'm going to do all of those things, right? But for now, it's like a Thunderdome, and I'm okay with that. But I am ranting again. However, look, we harvested the heck out of that magazine, and look at all these things. And so one of the cool things about Uppercase is also it's matte. I specifically chose it for that reason, and also just because it's full of gorgeousness, because when filming, it's hard to sort of film with a glossy magazine because you can't see, you know, the details of something like this if it's shining from my lights up there. So that's why I chose this magazine. Now, that being said, you know, if you're just making this at home for yourself and you like glossy paper, don't stress, right? You can make this out of anything. Also, our tastes may differ wildly, so please choose something that you like, okay? So if you'd like to go ahead, get yourself to this stage. My next video, I will start off by showing you my plans for how I'm going to use some of these pieces. Where I haven't made it clear, I will make some ephemera, but for lots of things that look sort of like, let me find a good example for you. I know we had some in the beginning, like maybe this, okay? So this, I may just trim one side down, and I might just back it, I might stitch it, I might add some fabric up here when I stitch it and back it. That will be kind of like your standard thing. So what I'll do is I'll probably sort through as I go in the next video, and I'll find, like for this, I have a plan for something interesting, so we'll make that together. But if you would like to get to the harvesting stage, go for it. If you would like to find a cover for your journal that you're going to make, it does not matter what kind of cover. You can use an old book cover, you can make your own fabric cover. What I'm using, I'm going in the size of kind of like a traveler's notebook-ish. I think the size I'm going with, let's just measure so you have a bit of plan here. It is just basically 10 by 5, not quite 5.5. So that's including though that like there's all this like lacy stuff up here, right? So if I measured just the envelope, it was 9.5. So 9.5 by 5.25. Okay, but you know, I used fabric, an old hanky. And this inside is just more of that same fabric from the front. This is just some green fabric. I went with pink and green because this is not going to be for this stuff. That's going to be for the other stuff, the garden stuff, right? This pile. So these go together. I will make the cover for this one with you because it's going to have a different kind of feel. So where that one was garden, this one's more art, right? Like a more of an art palette kind of theme. So we have some different fabric options for that one. I've got to take a look because I didn't know what direction this was taking. So that's today's video. You can get to the same spot I'm in if you would like to, and then we can go together and make ephemera next time. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you soon. If you want to participate on social media, don't forget #magchopandflop, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Follow along. I think that this is going to be fun. So thank you for joining me for episode 1 of the great magazine Chop and Flop, and we will talk soon. Bye for now.